Wow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed enemies. Hello, welcome to the stream. It is I, my Starberries. I am here. Hello. It's a Starforged night. We are doing what I think is probably session 8 of Starforged, of Solar Flare. I think I counted correctly. I'm pretty sure the last session was session 7. That's what my OBS said my title was before I did Cult of the Lamb. So I'm pretty sure I did session 7 last time. So, this is session 8. Aw, yeah. I will give a heads up that tonight is most likely going to be a bit of a short session, because I have to wake up early tomorrow, which I'm not happy about. Hello, Hanadel! Yes, it's more Starforged time! So yes, we'll likely be doing a shorter session tonight, probably, maybe, unless I get too enthralled, because I have to wake up early tomorrow, and I'm not happy about it. I'm a vampire. I am meant for the night. But, that being said, a quick recap of the last time. Okay, so, last time, Faye and Lux, formerly known as Blackbird, still known as Blackbird, just now we know his actual name, Faye and Lux did a little bit of sabotage against the Church of the Apostles of Stellus that has been hunting Faye, and is honestly still kind of hunting Faye. It's just that Lux in particular doesn't care anymore at this point. Guysy, hello! That sabotage attempt, which ultimately went successfully. We got to destroy an entire data terminal for them with encrypted data, or encrypted data, so that's not going to be all that useful to them right now. Ultimately went well. We found some horrible polygonal doggos, which I did indeed just call polygon doggos. I decided to actually make a little creature. Wasabi's here, hello! We got everybody, we gotta have a full house at this rate. I did indeed just name them polygon doggos for the time being. There was a couple of those on security duty in the church, because apparently that's the shit that the Apostles of Stellus consider to be good security, you weirdos. Anyway, at least that particular church, got some questions there. Oh, right, meanwhile, there's that thing that's hanging out in the other sector. We're not worrying about that just yet. But, there was some word that apparently the Apostles of Stellus, may have, taken some life forms from the planet that that thing was on. Can I go back to the Accursed Zenith? That's it. Let me go back there real quick. There was this planet, Argosy, that had the horrible spiky fleshy durian thing. Apparently, the Apostles of Stellus, found some life forms from this planet. And brought them back. Maybe some concerns about what they're doing with that. Maybe those were the doggos. I think those were the doggos. I think was where our implication was at that point. Whether or not that has any connection to there suddenly being a thing here, unconfirmed. But that's okay, because we did the job. Faye got their leg, envenomed by the Polygon doggos. And, had a severe injury. Actually, is he still? Yes. I was very torn last session on whether or not to make that a permanent injury. But I decided to go a different route. Faye is fairly certain he heard a voice kind of in his head when he woke up, but that faded, so he's just like, you know, that was fine. I got knocked unconscious. I'm sure there's some side effects. We won't worry about it for now, probably. Faye and Lux are on, Lux is on vacation, come to think of it. Faye is en route to Sigil and Tyrannus to figure out what the hell happened over there. Lux tagged along because, fuck the church. And we stopped at the little, deep space settlement of the Argosy, which rolled some concerning details. Also, if I recall correctly, we specifically rolled, badly on a, I made a lot of rolls. Yes. We rolled a miss on Undertaken Expedition, when we arrived here. Which is great. So, Faye and Lux are arriving in this settlement of... Okay, so I wanna point out, actually, I'm just realizing, I'm not even sure what this place looks like. I rolled a bunch of... Does the first look table have anything, like, any physical descriptors for this location? Or am I looking at a different table for that? Toxic or polluted habitat. I'm just kind of like rolling to see if there's anything else. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to add those to this place. Okay. Should I be concerned that I rolled that twice? I'm not going to put that in there. I might keep that in mind, though. But, okay, so the Argosy has a population of few, so I think that this is kind of, one of many settlements that's kind of sort of held together by patchwork. You know what? I'm realizing Argosy... I mean, the map is pretty much abstract, but, I'm kind of placing things in, like, general areas, so Argosy seems to be nearby Astra, you know, the weirdos that orbit a black hole, who we do have a job to go check out, for the Silva family. But the Silva family are assholes, so we're putting that off for a little bit. Also, everyone in Sigil might have been eaten by ghosts, and that includes the Silva family. So we'll get to that. Point being, we arrived at Argosy, a small settlement of, I kind of like the idea, since it's deep space, I kind of like the idea that Argosy is kind of formed from, basically some, either the remnants of larger starships. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's basically built from the remnants of larger starships. Basically, a lot of them have been more or less attached to each other and lashed together to form a giant interior settlement in the middle of space that's just kind of floating there. And they mostly utilize their own smaller personal starships, but, like, the actual building, quote-unquote, of the settlement is, like, the big, giant fleet starships from way back when the Exodus happened and everyone came here to the Forge in the first place. So that's nifty. Yeah, a lot of a lot of the buildings and whatnot, quote-unquote buildings, a lot of the rooms and stuff in the settlement are repurposed ship rooms and bays and docks and stuff. So that's nifty. I like that. Now, we have some concerns about the details that I rolled for this place, because it's not that big, right? Honestly, it might just be one ship, but, like, one repurposed fleet ship. Maybe two. But, first look, haunted dimension. Additional first look detail. Obvious social stratification, meaning that there is, some sort of, social division within this community. And it's already a small community, so I already have concerns. But with the whole haunted dimension thing, I'm kind of feeling like there's some sort of, ghosty spook nonsense going on with that. I feel like a detail that I like is that it could be that some people in the settlement have some power to communicate with spirits. And there's a... Oh, what's the authority like here? Corrupt authority, huh? Cool. Yeah. In that case, there is an authority that is, because I feel like the social stratification, the social divide is between people who can talk to ghosts and people who can't. The question is kind of who's coming out on top here, and I feel like it might not be the people who can talk to ghosts. I feel like there might be a problem there. So, immediately Faye and Lux run into trouble upon arriving here, and I'm kind of gonna roll on settlement trouble to get an idea. Changing environment. Changing environment. Oh. Interesting. So... What if not people who talk to ghosts? What if shades? Sorry, Lux, I'm throwing you into this shit now. What if shades? I mean, no one said shades can't also talk to ghosts, depending on their capabilities. Yeah. I like that. Okay. The question being, is there, an easy way to tell at a glance if somebody is a shade? When I have considered designs of Lux, which I've really wanted to get around to drawing, I haven't considered any specific details that would make it immediately obvious. And I mean, with Faye, I mean, his eyes are kind of weird, but like, you can't really tell at a glance that he's got fire powers. He can hide that pretty easily, so... I feel like, at the very least, Lux arriving here isn't going to be an immediate problem. But, with the whole Haunted Dimension situation, I imagine that as Faye and Lux come to this settlement, it is immediately apparent that something is off. The people living inside of this giant repurposed fleet ship seem to have sectioned off a specific part of it. Like, there's two things immediately that stand out. A, there are certain individuals in the settlement who everyone else avoids. Those, of course, being the shades, because, let's be real, this settlement knows who their shades are. In what way? They probably have a way, who knows. But the other problem is that everyone is avoiding a specific area of the ship and has kind of sealed it off. Just kind of barricaded the whole place away. Like a whole, not half, but definitely several doors of the ship are just blocked off. In a very obvious manner of just, yeah, we need to stop some shit that's going on there, apparently. Which, Faye and Lux, I feel like that's worth questioning. And would they... Question being, would the people here have any reason to hide what's going on? I don't think so. I think there's not really a reason for them to be, secretive at all about what's going on with the other side of the ship there. So I think they're pretty open in telling Faye and Lux, yeah, hey, so a good portion of our ship is being devoured by another dimension. Like, basically, as they put it, the way they explain it is that energies from the other side, the ghost dimension, are leaking through in that area of the ship and kind of corrupting things and making things bad. And I imagine that being in the vicinity of ghost energy leaking through the cracks in reality is not healthy. Maybe unless you're a shade. Oh no! Oh no! Oh... I had a thought. Because yeah, I feel like we have shades and... Okay, so we have shades and firebrands as two types of paragons, individuals with special powers in this galaxy. Firebrands, I've definitely established as being connected to Stellis, goddess of the stars. And another deity that I've had in mind that exists here is Void. Because I'm kind of... There's three of them. There's Stellis, Void, and a third one that I haven't determined yet. And I've been wondering if Shades, that's the word. If Shades in general have a connection to Void, or maybe something else. Maybe what their exact powers are connected to is unconfirmed. Might make sense, though, to be connected to the deity that is an opposite to the deity of stars. That being said, point being, Shades are not harmed by the, ghost energy that's leaking through the, blocked off sections of the ship. Which is good, because I don't think you can just block that off and that will stop the problem for good. Well, I say it's good, but I think I've I think I've realized why the, shades here in this settlement are treated differently. Which is that, I think that they might be, with a corrupt government, I think that anyone here who has powers of shades might be, fodder to go into that side of the ship and try to figure out / stop what's going on. Which is great. It's a tiny settlement, though, so I imagine they can't have many. But upon learning this detail, well, Lux is not happy because that's screwed up. What the hell are you doing? He's not going to mention that he is a shade. Of course, with that knowledge in mind. But he is pissed off about this. And Lux seems intent on... Lux is kind of okay with murder. And I feel like, upon learning this detail, Lux's first instinct is, hey, Faye, okay, so, like, here's the deal. I'm gonna go find whoever's in charge here, and I might kill them. Which, I'm not sure that's the best idea, Lux. I'm not sure that's the best idea. So, I feel like Faye, first and foremost, first roll of the session, I didn't even, I'm supposed to take momentum for a session recap, but I kinda slid right from the recap into the current situation. So there's my momentum bonus. I feel like Faye's immediate problem and first roll of the session is stopping Lux from running off to go do something stupid. It's Lux's turn to be stupid now. Where is... I think Compel is gonna be what we want here. Like, dude, chill. Okay? You can't just go murder the mayor or whoever the hell, okay? It's probably... Is that gonna be a heart, or is that gonna be, is gonna be more of an iron of Faye just, like, grabbing Lux and being like, listen, if you go and murder someone, we're going to have a problem. You can't just come into a village and murder the mayor. That's going to make things worse. I think it's more of a general heart roll, though. Okay, we get... They do what you want or agree to your conditions, but their agreement comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counteroffer and take +1 momentum. Lux, you're not dragging me into this shit. Lux is dragging us into this shit. You already made us go sabotage the church. Are we going? We figuring out? I mean, like, we only just got here. The plan was to get supplies, and I think, Yeah, the plan was... The plan was, Faye is wounded as hell, is the thing. Like, what's our immediate first step? Like, I feel like, at the very least, Lux's counter-offer is going to be, okay, fine, we won't murder anyone yet, but you had better find a damn alternative to this then. But first, doctor, though, because Faye has a horribly wounded leg, bro. We're not doing anything with the dimension that's eating the ship until that's fixed. I mean, we could. He could walk on it. It would just hurt like a bitch. And he might just collapse on the floor. But let's take a sojourn roll while we have the opportunity, shall we? Heart. And we can. I'll take it. Safe refuge, but time is short. Well, yes. Or resources are strained. Yeah, this settlement is like maybe 20, 30 people. A small portion being shades who are... The rest of the settlement seems aware of who are the shades here. And, they're living on a ship. Like, a dead, old fleet ship. And there is ghost energy eating a part of that ship, and probably encroaching on the rest of it. So, I would say yes, time is short. That's all I was going with that. Alright, you and your allies may each make one recover move. Instead of rolling, assume an automatic strong hit. Okay, we get one. I think handling that wounded condition might be the best idea. Get Faye to a doctor, please. So, a strong hit on heal gives us... Alright. If you are wounded, clear the impact and take or give +2 health. So. Yeah. That puts us in a pretty good position. We're at a +2 on everything, which could be worse. It could be better, but it could be worse. An individual move can be taken more than once. Okay, anyway. So, we have a situation on our hands. That being, what do we do about this? Because quite honestly, I feel like Lux's ultimatum is, listen, Faye, you can take the ship and leave if you want. I will handle things here, and then procure a ship and leave when I'm done. Or Faye can stay and help. And that's the question. Things might not end well if Lux is left to his own devices. So, Lux, first you want to do sabotage, which is fine. I mean, it was a good cause. And you want to do murder. Not for the worst cause, but like, you need to be reined in a little bit, buddy. Okay! Let's gather some information, I think. I think that's where we're at. Let's chat up the locals, see if we can get a little more info. Maybe some of them... Maybe the Shades. Let's chat with the Shades. See if any of them have returned from the death side of the ship. And, see if they might have any information that's of help. I feel like there's a lot of them that haven't returned from the death side of the ship. Because, the death energies, the ghost energies, whatever's going on over there, are probably not as harmful to them, but we don't know that that's the only threat there. Anyway, yeah, wits. Yes, no, we find out bad. Your investigation unearths a dire threat, or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. I'm gonna roll... do I want to see what the story clue gives me? Involves a personal item. Do I want to go with that? Do I want to go with that? Because I have a thought. I'm gonna try another roll or two and see if I get anything, nifty. No, descriptor and focus. Okay, hang on. Involves a cultural touchstone. Alright, what do we got for descriptor and focus then? Obscured hazard. Obscured hazard. That's great. But yeah, I think ultimately, is the information at all going to assist with figuring out what has caused this and or how to stop it? Or is it just, hey, yeah, there's horrible monsters in there? Or is it something else? Obscured hazard. Okay. I think what the Shades know, because a couple of them have probably have been sent in like groups. But I think what these people know is that they, while exploring the sealed off portion of the ship, there is a certain area, a certain couple of rooms further in, where things go from bad and not normal to pitch black darkness. And the Shades that have gone in there have definitely not come out. So yeah, I think some have gone in there and come out of, like, the area itself. But yeah, the ones who are like, okay guys, it's okay, I'll check out the weird creepy darkness, they ain't come back. And unfortunately, very little has been found out beyond the fact that there is a horrible darkness that will eat you. What is horrible darkness that will eat you? What is horrible darkness that will eat you? Oh, maybe Faye can burn it. Faye, can you use your power to burn? Are you gonna be okay going in there? Lux will be okay. You gonna be okay going in there? Find out. That being said, though, with that information, it's not sounding like there's immediately any creatures there that will kill anybody. So that's good. There is just the threat of getting eaten by darkness, getting eaten by Grooze. So, is there anything else that we want to try and check in on here, or are we going to go ahead and proceed? Or, yeah, I was debating on whether or not we could potentially attempt another sojourn, assuming that more time can be spent here to prepare and gather information, but I think with the state of things, that's probably not the best idea. Oh. Do I want to use a clock? Do I want to use a clock? Because a clock is an option. Clock. Speaking of, I got this. I forgot I have this available to me now, actually. That's good. Okay, well, I think Faye and Lux are going in there. After a bit of snooping around, after a bit of info, they're gonna go on in there. They're gonna volunteer. We're not gonna mention to anyone that Lux is a Shade, because we don't want to get too dragged deep into it. Are we gonna actually go up to whoever's running this place, or are we just gonna go to the barricades? Because there's probably like a couple of people on watch there. And we're just gonna go up to the barricades and be like, hey, we're volunteering to go in. Honestly, I don't think these people are gonna try that hard to stop us from doing that. We're going straight in there. That's probably a terrible idea. We're going in there. Okay, so. Ooh. Let's go into the horrible ghost dimension part of the ship. Quite literally a haunted dimension. Or void dimension? Unsure, honestly. Oh, I'm bumping wires. Hopefully that don't affect anything. Okay, so Faye and Lux are gonna be going on in there, past the barricade, and immediately upon entering into these rooms that have been affected by this, yeah, shit's weird. Walls and floors that were metal in other areas of the ship are weird colors. Strange, shifting shades of sort of like dark purples and reds. Probably warped a bit. The texture does not look metal. It looks a bit rougher than metal. It doesn't look... It doesn't have, at a glance, it doesn't have the traits of metal. Maybe more like a stone? Unsure. Faye's thought is that they could definitely try touching it to find out. But that doesn't seem like a wise decision. And in general, I feel like there is, an influence on Faye of just being here. The question is, how strong is it? Oracle, answer me this. Is it... Because Faye does have good old firebrand powers, so maybe that provides him an edge here. Or maybe he's as much at risk of the not-so-healthy environment as the regular people. So, Oracle, tell me. Is Faye in danger of being in here casually? And, once again, I think I'm going for a nice 50-50. No. Oh. Okay, good to know. I imagine he definitely, like, feels that something is off. There is a weird sort of, prickling of his skin. Definitely, hair on the back of your neck standing up kind of vibe in here. But there doesn't seem to be any sort of notable health hazard. And, you know, for him, at this moment, you know, he's not, like, having difficulty breathing or falling over on the floor or turning into a horrible monster or anything. So that's progress. Being magic helps. Space magic. Now we have to figure out what this horrible darkness is, though. So... I feel like we should be making a roll to navigate this area in general, just to see if there is any particular... Yeah, I think a secure an advantage roll to sort of scope out the area. Find the... Oh my god, are we gonna attack the darkness? Find the omnivorous darkness or any other signs of something bad or good or helpful. In general, secure an advantage to see what we can find. Which, speed, mobility, or agility, resolve, command, or sociability, strength, endurance, aggression, deception, stealth, or trickery, expertise, focus, or observation. I feel like wits, observation, and focus is a good call here. I don't imagine, at least we haven't heard thus far, that there's anything moving around in here that we have to worry about and sneak around. As far as we know. So let's just go and roll wits. Shit. Okay, question now becomes, do I want to utilize my fugitive asset? Or do I want to take that and roll with it? You fail. Your assumptions betray you. Ooh. Okay. I think. If you overcome them or escape, reset the clock. I am tempted, but I want to use these sparingly since we did just get over the situation with Lux, but I think I am going to use one. Because I do have this asset, and I should make you... Like, I'm missing 2 of my assets because we haven't gotten back to Sigil yet. Lux, this is your fault. All of this is your fault. But I do want to make use of my assets. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and turn that into a nice little strong hit. So a strong hit on secure an advantage gives us... on a strong hit, take both on a weak hit, choose 1, +2 momentum, and +1 on your next move. Not a progress move. Alright. So, with that, I think the two are able to scout out the area, assess the surroundings, enter... Oh my goodness, Static is hosting! Hello! Thank you! And also raiding us, is there a raid or a host? What is this? Cryptid's creeping in. Yes, hello! That, Yes, a big old raid. Oh my goodness, 11 people. Hello, raid! Hello! For those of you who are new here, I am my Starberries. I am the most pastel vampire. Welcome! We are playing some Starforged, Ironsworn, Starforged. Solo tabletop RPG that I am particularly fond of. I do a lot of this usually on... Oh, ads! Oh, ads. Do I have pre-roll ads? I don't remember. I gotta check my ad settings. They don't seem to listen to me. They're creeping in. Hello. Glad to have you all. I do hope that the ads are, not engulfing you too much. Yes, every Thursday, usually, we do some nice tabletop goodness. Tonight is likely going to be a shorter stream than I usually do, just because I have to wake up early tomorrow, but it is good to have you all. And, I was gonna say something. I forgot. I forget a lot of things. Finish me. Well, hey, at least you're still alive after the ad roll finished. But yes, welcome. As I was mentioning, we do tabletops. We do various other games. Right now I've been doing Cult of the Lamb. I will probably put my Starforged adventures on a brief pause in October for spooky games. That is something that I wanted to also mention later on. Hello! Welcome! Welcome back, yes. So yes, we do various games, Cult of the Lamb right now. Tabletop on Thursday nights. Throughout October, I'll probably be focusing more on spooky games, so tabletop may or may not get a pause, or I'll find another thing that I can do tabletop-wise. Cryptid's creeping in. Hello! But, very nice of you all to join me. So, we are currently in the middle of my 8th session of this little solo campaign, Solar Flare, following the adventures of Fei Kai in the galaxy known as the Forge. We are currently, there's a lot of context. We are currently, along with our buddy Lux over here, who doesn't have a proper artwork yet. He will one day. I will get around to drawing him. I have a lot of things on my plate. We are exploring a part of a ship that has been turned into a settlement. This part of the ship has been sealed off because there are cracks in reality and, ghost energy from the ghost dimension, or just a horrible void dimension, unsure what's going on. Dark energy of some sort is leaking through into this part of the ship, and it's probably not healthy. Faye has magical space superpowers, and Lux has also magical space superpowers, but, like, specifically of this weird void kind. So they're fine. Dice have agreed with me on that. And we left off with the two of them doing a little bit of a scout around the ship to try and find some information on what's going on here in this horrible portion of the ship that's been eaten by another dimension, or is actively being eaten by another dimension. It's probably spreading. And there's also darkness that eats people somewhere in here. On that note, there's a lot of context. On that note, I rolled a miss with secure an advantage, but I am using, one little block of Faye's clock on the fugitive asset. As I mentioned, I'm going to use that sparingly for a bit, since we just got out of our last fugitive situation and made a friend out of it. Lux is a bro, kind of, except for the part where he keeps kind of causing troubles, but also he saved our ass. So we're turning this into a strong hit is the end point with that asset. So we got +2 momentum, and +1 on the next move we make, which I'll have to remember because I always forget. And with that knowledge in mind, as Faye and Lux are scouting out this portion of the ship, the two of them check out several rooms. There doesn't seem to be anything that is an active threat, which is good. There's no, like, zombies or anything like that. There's no more space tentacle ghosts. There's no more polygon dogs. That's good. There's no weird, crystal creatures. I think they do find the area of the ship where that, man-eating darkness was. It is very stationary. It is in there is basically there's a hallway that they find where it just is a wall of darkness. Like, they got lights, I'm sure. Good old survival flashlights, or like, with it being in space, I'm sure they have, like, a light built into, like a headpiece or something. But that light does not extend into the wall of darkness. Not at all. Now, no one who has walked into the darkness has come out of it. So, we are going to attack the darkness. Hey, Faye, wait, how's your fire powers doing? Okay, you're doing okay. You got some fire energy on you. Okay, cool. To be fair, he could do fire energy even without, like, actually having points in this. He just wouldn't get the bonus from this asset to the roll. So, step number 1. Faye is actually gonna conjure up some fire. I'm wondering if I'm sure it's fine. I was about to wonder if maybe fire in, like, an enclosed spaceship, like, it's kind of derelict, but it's been turned into a settlement, so it's still functional in that regard. So I'm just sitting there like, does fire in an enclosed spaceship, as big as it is, like, it's a big fleet ship, but does that seems like a good idea? And then I'm like, well, there is a ghost dimension, or a void dimension eating the ship. That doesn't seem like a good idea. So I think we're fine. Maybe. So I feel like Faye has definitely done. Faye has lit his own ship on fire by accident multiple times. Oh, that's Static, thank you! You subscribed, thank you! Oh my goodness! Oh, Hanadel is gifted a sub to Static. Yes, yes! Hanadel working the sub magic. Thank you, Hanadel. Glad to have you. Good to join the subs, Static. I'm curious if the sub badge will work. I have a custom sub badge, and it doesn't seem to want to cooperate, but I'll have to figure that out. Oh, wait, there it is! I see the moon! See the moon! Yeah, it seems like when it updates or something like that, like with new subs, it seems to pop in. Ta-da! The moon, and it gains, like, sparkles and stuff as the months progress. It is super fun. Yeah! So Faye's attacking the darkness. Faye's gonna conjure up some fire in his hand. I think I was literally about to say that Faye has lit his own ship on fire, which he definitely has. All of Icarus has seen some shit. Faye conjures up some darkness in his hand, and kinda chucks it at the... I feel like first he's going to, hold the fire. Like, I think first plan... Faye's having to take the role of being the cautious one here today, with how Lux started out, upon finding out everything that's going on here. So, I think Faye is going to bring the fire close to the darkness first, see if there's any sort of, reaction or illumination, and depending on how that goes, he might be throwing that fire in there. Was that kind of a face danger, or is it kind of a secure an advantage? I think it's more of a secure an advantage. It's kind of a getting a vibe on what's going on type of role here, right? See if we figure out anything from that. Depending on how it works, it might give us a heads up on something, maybe? Yeah, let's go with that. Strength, endurance, or aggression. A lot of the time I've been using iron for the fire stuff, but I think in this case it's more of, I think observation is the kind of thing that still fits here. We'll go ahead with that. Do I want to... I'm gonna get that +1 from our previous secure an advantage. So that's nice. Do I want to spend some actual firepower on this? No, I think it's fine. We'll go with just that. And then, depending on where it goes, we might spend some of the energy. I still get a miss! You fail, or your assumptions betray you. Pay the price. Do I want to roll on the table? Because I have a thought, but I'm gonna roll on the table just to see what it gives me, because I always like to do that, even if I don't go with it. Just to see if it sparks any ideas. Dice? Ah! Something of value is lost or destroyed. Do I want to go with that? I think I'm gonna go with my first instinct, which is that as Faye reaches his hand out towards the darkness with the fire, there is a reaction. And I think is not good. Because the darkness kind of, in that area, sort of seems to recoil from the fire. It looks at first like the area's being lit up, but no, the darkness actually just moves. And tendrils of darkness kind of lash out and reach out for Faye. It seems pissed off. The darkness is pissed off. So Faye's gonna jump back from that. It didn't like the fire. That's a face danger. Edge, definitely. Shit. I could burn momentum, actually, to turn that into a weak hit. What are we at with face danger on a weak hit? On a miss, you fail, or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. On a weak hit, you succeed, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move, -1. Do I want to burn momentum and make that into a weak hit? Or do I want to leave that at a miss? If we miss, and fail, a momentary success. Let's burn the momentum. We have it. We did just roll a nice bit, so we did just roll a nice little secure and advantage that gave us that momentum. Let's spend it right away. Make a suffer move. Do I want it to go to... I kind of feel like... With it being a weak hit, I'm not sure there's any immediate harm. Alright. Go ahead and have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. What was I gonna say? But yes, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the raid. On my end, we'll probably be going a little bit longer and then ending off. I'm gonna wake up early. I don't want to. Especially now I'm enjoying things. Anyway, I don't think that there is, any harm that befalls Faye for this immediately. We've only just it's been weak hits. We're doing okay. Well, actually, that was a miss before, but we're doing okay. I'm gonna take that as a loss of momentum, I think. Where's my lose momentum? I want to confirm. I think it's just... Where's my suffer moves? I'm so bad at navigating this list. There we go. Suffer moves. Yeah, lose momentum is just lose momentum, right? -1 for minor setback. Yeah, okay. Okay! Oh, we're gonna be back into negative territories soon if I keep doing that. That being said, Faye is gonna go ahead and retaliate immediately by throwing the fire. That darkness tried to grab him. He's like, nope, nope, nope. Let's burn it. Whatever it is, we're burning it. Faye is the cautious one today, except for the fact that he is still happy to use his fire, when the situation calls for it. Okay, at least when the situation calls for it, and there's not, like, people around that he's trying to hide his fire powers from. It's just Lux here. No one cares. Gonna call that a face danger. With probably iron. That's aggression. Yeah, it's definitely iron. And we are using some fire. Let's see. When you make moves aided by this fire energy, add +2 and suffer -1 fire. Okay, so -1 fire, and we get to add a +2 to our iron roll. A weak hit. You succeed, but not without cost. Make another suffer move. This might be the part where the darkness is getting angry. So, in good news, darkness doesn't like the fire. But Faye throws the fire into the darkness. Just chucks it right in there. Trying to get it, like, deep into the darkness, where it can't recoil from it as well. And, the fire sails through. May or may not have caught the floor on fire somewhere there in the darkness. They can see the light of the fire on the floor. Not sure what texture the floor is. I imagine also that their boots, while they've, like, as mentioned, they don't want to touch the walls. Their boots, I think, while walking, they haven't been making, like, metal footstep sounds. So, it's been more solid stone, earthen. So, unsure what's going on there, but there is fire on the ground. The ground may or may not have caught fire. It definitely looks like it. The darkness is angry. The darkness kind of stretches out, trying to avoid the fire, so to speak. Kind of recoils to the sides of the hallway and kind of like it making like it's now a tunnel of darkness kind of thing, going further back. So Faye, for a moment, I think, can see a door back there at the end of the hallway before the darkness kind of regathers at the end of the hallway, back there. That being said, the portion of the darkness up front here, more tendrils. It's gonna move. It's gonna try and, probably grapple, I think. I think this darkness is going for a grapple. Grapple Faye and, Lux. And I'm wondering, is this gonna be a combat sort of situation, or is this more of a roll some face dangers and see where we end up situation? I think the way my train of thought is going on it now, I think it's more of a roll another face danger and see where we end up. As there is darkness coming in to try and grab the two of them. And is Faye gonna retaliate with more fire? Faye's gonna retaliate with more fire, but with Lux here, I think he's also gonna go ahead and try some assistance on this, but on Faye's end... Yes, Lux does have some control over darkness after all, he is a shade. So... he is going to try and lend his assistance to kind of, can he control this darkness? This is sentient darkness. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is a creature. Rather than just regular darkness, clearly. Can Lux take control of it? Would this be more of a... because on Faye's part, he's still going to use the fire. If Lux can make an opening for him. So is that more of an iron? Or would this be kind of a wits with the two of them working together for this plan? I do like that logic. It's the same roll either way, actually. So I'm going to go ahead with wits, but we're going to spend more fire. Oh, Faye, you're about to be all out of fire. I don't think we're done here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think... oh, opportunity! Take +1 momentum. Yes, please. Cool. I think that is the case then. Whatever the hell the living darkness is, stretches out a bunch of tendrils. Oh, there's the tentacle shit again. But, like, darkness doesn't move. Darkness doesn't make defined hands. Or feet. Probably. Oh god, does it? Oh no, it does. I immediately got a mental image of, like, that house from VHS, the haunted house thing, with the hands coming out, like, the walls or whatever. That's definitely what it is. Yeah, the darkness stretches out arms and hands. Oh, no! Okay, sometimes I have trains of thought where I'm like, I will say it out loud. And just, like, openly share what it is that I'm thinking. Sometimes I have trains of thought where it's like, I have an idea for a potential plot thread, but it's not going to be relevant for a while, so I'm going to hold on to it and kind of keep it secret until it comes up. I'm not sure, and the other thing is, I'm not sure if the thought that I just had should be made canon. But it might. Why did my table just shake? What the fuck? My cat's over... my cat's over there on the bed. Why the fuck did my table just shake? Excuse me? Okay. I'll worry about that another time. Okay. I am getting distracted. My point was just, I had a thought, but I'm not going to say what it is yet, because I'm not sure if I dare to make it canon. And, Faye and Lux don't need to know right now what that thought was. Anyway. In good news, Lux is able to, take sort of a, mental hold of the darkness using his powers, and the hands slow to a stop, the grasping hands that are reaching out from the walls and the shadows. He's able to sort of hold them in place, sort of frozen. which is going to give Faye a good ol' opportunity to throw some fire in there and actually land a nice little sizable fireball in the hallway, which I think that amount of light and that amount of darkness. Yeah. Faye throws a fire at a good solid portion of the darkness that's kind of like clung to the wall. And with it being held there by Lux, it can't move out of the way. And it burns. It kind of, you know, when you see the edges of paper burn, and it's all glowy embers at the edges as it crumples. The darkness burns away kind of like that. Fades away. Bits of embers and stuff visible at like edges of clouds of the darkness, before it fades away into nothing, which leaves the hallway empty. Faye and Lux have not died. What was that? Why was it in this hallway? And what is that door down the hallway? Does that have any connection? Is that where that came from? Is that the source of the horrible creeping darkness that is alive? Might be good to check that door. Do I want to make a roll? See how things go upon... Yeah, Lux and Faye are going to take kind of a stealthy approach to the door. So I am going to roll a... Is this more of a secure and advantage? Make preparations, time to gain leverage. I think in this case it's more of a secure and advantage. Secure and advantage. Nice little shadow roll. Alright. Did I take my plus? I did take my +2 from before. So we get +2 momentum and a +1 on our next roll. Now, I think I at least want to kind of resolve this situation before ending off this session for the night. So, Faye and Lux are opening that door, and I'm gonna kind of roll a little bit of descriptors to see if I can get... Because I have a half-formed thought in my mind of what it is. But I kind of want to see if I can get a little bit more detail. Descriptor. Radiant atmosphere? Radiant atmosphere? Oh my, this changes things if I want to go with that. Let's try another descriptor roll. I just kind of want to see... Locked? Well, I mean, this whole place was blocked off. Okay, a moment for my thoughts. Because there were two ways. There was a half-formed thought in my head of where we were going for this. It's about to get weird. Okay. Okay. Trying to figure out some logistics here. Okay. Faye and Lux enter this room. And I think that there is... Is there more of the darkness? Kind of what I'm wondering, right? In here. Because I'll tell you what is definitely... what definitely is here is a radiant atmosphere. So, the two of them walk into this room, and it's fairly large, actually. It's kind of a large circular room that actually looks like sort of a... what was formerly a meeting or command room. It's a round circular room where there is desks and chairs, the whole, like, very official political kind, not like the office kind, right? Where it's like the big, fancy desks, chairs. And what I'm trying to decide is there anyone else in here? Or is this situation... Yes, okay. There is a sphere of the darkness sort of hovering in the center of the room. And it's darkness that looks different. It's not really darkness like it was in the hallway. It's more of a dark tar-like substance. It's very odd, because, I mean, well, of course it's odd. It is a sphere of tar that is floating in the center of the room. Very large. Very large. Like, bigger than a person. Fairly sizable. And through sort of, I don't want to say cracks, through sort of splotches of area where the tar doesn't completely cover, there is a very strong light visible coming from within it. Like it's covering up something that is much brighter and lighter. And there are runes here, I think. There are runes that indicate some sort of magic that are inscribed on the floor, on the walls. And I'm kind of wondering if either of these two know what those runes are, and I almost wonder if Lux would know? Would Lux know? Or would that be more territory for some... Alright, let's roll Oracle. Would Lux know? Or are we gonna need more expert to answer what the hell that is? I feel like it's less likely that he would know compared to the Soulbinders. No, he doesn't know. So what we have here is a situation where the sentient darkness was very definitely guarding this room, where there is signs of a spell that is active. The floating sphere of tar that, quote-unquote tar, it's probably not normal tar, or tar at all, which probably is what the spell is. And, light coming from within it. Touching it doesn't seem like a good idea. Approaching it may not be a good idea. Should we approach? Try to find out what's going on here. Only one way to find out what it is. I mean, or we could just leave and be like, what the hell is that? We found your problem. I think that's why your thing's being eaten by a ghost dimension. Maybe. And honestly, I am debating what is, the best course of action, because this kind of seems like it is entirely out of the realm of either of you two. You're a couple of dummies. You need to study up on your ghost shit, because you're getting dragged into a lot of it. Does Faye know? I'm gonna give Faye a roll. I don't think this is something that he would have encountered. If he does, I swear— oh shit! Faye knows! Faye, I mean... He had a day where he studied then. Like, honestly, I legitimately wanted to give him a roll, because as I'm thinking that train of thought, it occurred to me that, like, he has been in the church. They've got some weird shit going on. He's been on the run for a while. He's probably encountered some things. He had his mentor, actually. So, like... he might know some things. Can you just read that kind of spell rune, I wonder? Because it's different than what Yelena and Phantom were doing. Like, that was more... So, I think what I'm gathering here from the fact that Faye knows about this, but not the ghost stuff, is that Phantom and Yelena were handling a ghost situation. Faye is handling... Or this situation here is... Void and Shadow. Definitely. So, at the very least, Faye is familiar with what this spell is, which is a spell that is not one that should actually be used. I just had a separate train of thought. It's not a spell that anyone should be using, because it is a spell that would, essentially the way it's set up and the way it's written, it seems that it's a spell that would convert living creatures into a sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Into a sort of, protective barrier, so to speak. A spell to convert living matter into, you know, maybe the black tar that they're looking at? It seems entirely possible to Faye. That there were maybe some living creatures used to make this, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of animals on the ship. Maybe they got some life forms from somewhere else. Faye gonna... Here's the other thing, is I had a other thought that, like, maybe there's another reason that Faye knows this, but... We're gonna tackle the question of whether Faye knows about this horrible dark magic through some incident that he's been through, or whether it's some other reason at a later point. We are dealing with a tar barrier of void darkness that may or may not have been made using people as a material component for the spell. However, it's clearly a lot more powerful. Because of the fact that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's clearly a lot more powerful than just the sort of wishy-washy, just darkness, given that it's taken on a more solid form. Because it does very much seem to be of the same origin as the sentient darkness. So can Faye's fire burn it? Or does that seem like a bad idea? And either way, if it is a barrier, what is it holding back? And I'm basically at a point where I am kind of debating whether or not I want to let that be where our session's going to end off with the barrier tar of people. Because it is only an hour, but I have to be up at 9 AM, and if I don't sleep soon, I am not going to get enough sleep to function. So I think so. Today has been a tiring day for my brain. We've made some progress on this. I am going to mull over where we're at. That was the train of thought. The train of thought was, but what if it's people? Anyway, I think that's going to be where we leave that off for the night, as those two contemplate what the hell to do about that. Because, how do we dispel that? How do we break that? Should we? Is that what's causing that's probably what's causing the leakage of void energy, is what it seems to be, actually. That's why your ship's cursed! But okay. It is a short one tonight, and I apologize. But I need to make sure that I am functional for tomorrow. So, let's go ahead for the evening and find somebody that we can raid real quick. Who do we got? Oh, you know what? If Wani's streaming, and she raided us the other night, let's go ahead and return the favor. So let's do a quick little raid. Raid with Wani. Ta-da! Okay, everybody. As I said, apologies that it was a short one tonight, but still, I thank you all for joining in, stopping by. I will see you next week. Yes, I will see you next week. And October, I plan to do more spooky games, so Solar Flare may or may not go on a brief pause for that month. But anyway, we will return in November anyway, if that's the case. But anyway, thank you all for joining. Away we go. You get some sleep if it's late on your end. Good night. Goodbye.